house where we posted every Friday. See them corn emojis, then you know a nigga wildin'. Jaded Gemini till the day I die. And I'ma talk my shit, but I don't play both sides. So nah.
World of hurt to talk about tonight because people just do anything for money, like usual.
Pretty much anything. I know y'all probably already know what we're talking about because of the title, but not to jump the gun, but I just never understand.
What don't you understand?
These black widows that, like, it's like you already had everything. You already had everything. Why did you kill him? Like,
they needed a little bit more, apparently.
I don't get it.
No, I think they just don't want to share their life with that person.
Maybe that's what it is. They don't want to share, but it's like, it's not yours. It's both of yours. Like,
hey, at the end of the day, she got a lot more than she bargained for in this case because people really saw it coming from a mile away. Why they stayed and entertained it after they saw death around the way, I don't know.
But sometimes, I don't know. I'm not going to get too ahead, but sometimes you got to do what the fuck you got to do. But it's like, yeah, it's really messed up. So somebody who had a spouse pass away from an overdose was actually found to have poisoned him with the drug. And yeah, she got arrested. But what's even more twisted is that she has kids with this person, and to make her kids, I guess, get over it quicker. That's what I'm hoping, and I'm hoping it's not from like a narcissistic, oh, I wanted clout. But she made a children's book about grief and losing your dad.
Part of me is almost like she either did it, I think she did it for a number of reasons. For a little clout, for sure, because inadvertently you're going to get that if you're writing books. Mm-hmm. It also, I feel like, totally made her not look like the culprit in her eyes, which goes back to that narkiness. So that's why I was like, I think it's a nasty combination of all that. Mm-hmm. Because people always think that, oh, making myself look like the optimum person in this situation, I'm going to shine through it. That's not usually people's first instinct in this type of situation.
No, it's not.
Usually it's devastation first.
Right. You go through the stages of grief and all that stuff. So far away. I'm sorry.
Over here trying to write Amazon bestsellers, huh? And then
that part. That's why I'm like, bro, that's some narky shit, dude.
Anything for $1. Mm-hmm.
Who wrote a children's book about grief after her husband's death. She has now been charged with killing him. Kana Whitworth joins us with the latest.
You never hear anything like this coming out of Utah.
Just good morning, Kana.
Yeah, Robin, good morning. So Kouri Richins appeared to be a grieving widow, but authorities say she was hiding a dark secret. And according to court documents, her husband warned his family prior to his death that if anything were to happen to him, she was to blame.
Well, there you go.
This morning, a Utah widow who authored a children's book about how to cope with grief.
Bruh, peep this.
Not my boy up in the top corner,
that's what
though.
I'm saying. Like, what the heck?
You just got to be a special type of person to, because you know he knew.
Who?
The husband, flying high.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you told your family, but again, why on earth?
Well, at first I thought you meant the little boy knew. That's why I was like, what? I don't think the little boy knew.
Nah, but back to, I'm trying to look like the optimum person. Like I'm just the angel through it all myself. I'm gonna write a book to save everybody, but it's like, dog, that's not normal. You making yourself hot for sure.
I just thought of something. Out of all of this, I haven't seen any footage of her bringing the kids on, because I'm gonna show you guys later. She did like a little press run for this book, and she did a little interview, right? All her interviews, she never includes the kids. Isn't that the whole purpose of the book, is to explain death and like
how it helped them maybe?
Yeah, and like, I don't know. It's just, again, the narcissistic stuff. Like, why wouldn't you want to encourage? Yeah, why wouldn't you want to encourage the kids to come with you and like?
But it could be looked at as like being exploitative, like you bringing them in for the sake of it all. It's like let them grieve for sure.
I wouldn't put them on the whole book press run, but you don't have not one interview where you know, and the interviewer will be like, "Well, little guy, how do you feel about this?" You know, like not one. That's sus.
How long ago did he pass away? Do you know offhand?
I'm not sure. I would want to say January, but I'm not sure. They're probably going to say it here.
Following the death of her husband, is now accused of murdering him.
My husband passed away unexpectedly last year. He was 39. It completely took us all by shock.
Authorities arresting Kouri Richins, a mother of 3, this week and charging her with first-degree aggravated murder. Investigators say in early March of last year, Kouri poisoned her husband Eric, the 33-year-old then.
So it was March of last year, not January of this
So you had the book out in under a year, G?
I mean, it's a children's book, babe. All you got to do is like hire an illustrator. And like,
I think moving on that fast is a little bit of a red flag.
I think it is too. Like, the first year is the hardest. Like, that's a lot.
Don't get me wrong. People cope with things differently.
People cope with things differently, but
if somebody had already said,
you running a business,
this person is trying to kill me.
Yeah.
And then I die, and then there's a children's book out less than a year later. I mean,
I agree that people cope differently, but I think it's really hard to run a business while you're grieving. Bereavement is there for a reason.
Let alone taking on a new task. Was you a writer before?
That's what I'm saying. Like, were you always a writer? Well, you're in Utah, so you're most likely a stay-at-home mom. I don't know.
Because you even got to have sauce to write a children's book, bruh.
You got to have, oh, okay.
And telling 911, she found her husband of 9 years lying unresponsive and cold to the touch at the foot of their bed, saying she had given him a Moscow Mule cocktail earlier to celebrate a business deal before falling asleep in one of their children's beds. A medical examiner later finding Eric had 5 times the lethal dosage of fentanyl in his system. According to a search warrant, Eric had told a friend just weeks earlier he suspected his wife was trying to poison him when he fell ill after a Valentine's Day date. The warrant claiming Eric broke into hives and couldn't breathe, eventually having to use his son's EpiPen and Benadryl before passing out for several hours. Court documents allege Kouri, on 2 separate occasions, bought $900 worth of pills from a dealer. The first time looking for something dangerously potent, even asking for the Michael Jackson.
Bro, she going to hell.
When I tell you they're about to have a field day with her, she should plead out. I'm gonna use my knowledge from my law degree at ICDC, and I'm gonna say you should take whatever deal they try to give you, because, bro.
Yeah, you definitely
the Michael Jackson stuff. You're about to get the Michael Jackson stuff.
Referring to the King of Pop's overdose death from a different powerful painkiller.
I will tell you, based on experience, extremely common that when one spouse kills the other, they tend to leave a fairly easy trail for law enforcement to follow.
And just last month, Richins appearing on a local television station to promote her book, which she says she wrote to help her 3 young sons grapple with the death of their father.
They're not living this life alone. Like, Dad is still here, it's just in a different way.
According to the search warrant, in January of 2022, Kouri had changed Eric's life insurance policy, making her the sole beneficiary. But when the insurance company notified her husband of the change, he removed his wife from the policy and his will and was looking to get a divorce.
Bro, you should have got her bammed at that moment. What reason would one have for altering your life insurance like that?
Right. If they weren't trying to freaking get you out of here. Like, that's so scary.
And don't get me wrong. excuse me, not even life insurance, because that would actually make a little bit more sense. I guess if you're in love with somebody, you got a family, but your will, when this person got bread and you kind of just like, and you just adjusting their will entirely.
Flag in almost every domestic homicide is insurance policies.
Now, Kouri's attorney has declined comment, but family members are filing for guardianship of the couple's 3 sons. And you guys, she has another court appearance later this month.
Bruh, this is about to get crazy. Cause this is like.
So it was both. She did insurance policies and his will.
Yep. So she did multiple counts of fraud, and she planned out a premeditated murder.
Yeah.
So this is what
people should know. If you're changing their stuff, if somebody's going to be changing your life insurance or your will, you should definitely know about it.
Yep.
If you don't know about it, that's a sure sign you might be about to kick the bucket.
Yeah, they'll hit you up too. That they hit him up. They're like, "Hey, bro, somebody trying to mess with your
somebody
stuff."
Trying to kill you.
And he changed it back.
She's trying to get you, bro.
They didn't say it in that news report, but he actually hit up his sister and told his sister, like, "Yo, something's off. If something happened to me, it's this bit. I'm about to put everything in your name. So if anything happened to me, it all goes to you." So her bitter ass gets pissed because when he does die, she doesn't get shit. It all goes to the sister.
It said she tried to cash it like first quarter too,
first
bro.
quarter,
like she
yeah.
was like on it. Also, I saw it was like the whole arrest warrant. She literally gave this man a edible and that damn Moscow Mule. It kept saying Moscow Mule, Moscow Mule.
Yeah.
I was just like, what the hell is in it?
He was in a different country or something, and he called his sister. He was like, "I think she drugged me. Like, I feel like not normal." Oh, and another thing they didn't mention, his family has a lot of money. They're like old money in the town that they're at in Utah. Like Daniel said, she don't really. Yeah.
Who be holding pictures of 5-point bucks, big ass Bambi?
Right.
Like, come on, bro.
So this is the friends and family explaining like how they feel about it.
This isn't true.
Family friend Linda King says she's been in utter shock following the news of Kouri Richins' arrest for the death of her late husband, Eric.
Their family was so beautiful. Everything was picture perfect, but I guess it wasn't.
About 9 years ago, King says she and Kouri worked together as cashiers at Home Depot, where Eric was a frequent customer as a contractor and one of her favorites.
He would come in my line all the time. You could never forget his laugh. And I love that laugh so much.
She says she was the one who encouraged him to ask Kouri out after seeing her catch his eye.
I says,
man.
go over
I know
there
she
and check out with her, So they did.
How'd you put the Black Widow on my boy, man?
Having a date. From then on, they were like glued to each other. It was perfect, I thought.
After Kouri left the cashier job, they kept in touch, and King felt a special connection to them because of their introduction.
They seemed like they were my children.
You didn't notice your daughter was a little off?
Yeah, you didn't notice she was a little cold, a little
That's how I felt about them.
When Kouri told her Eric died of a brain aneurysm last year, she says she was surprised and devastated.
What?
But she never questioned it or suspected foul play.
I thought, well, that's
so did
what
she
it
not
was,
think that like drug
this
tests
young
exist?
Guy, like he's not an old man.
It's a brain aneurysm.
Brain aneurysm. What the hell?
That's an odd cap.
Yeah.
Poor Eric.
She even looked at buying Kouri's book on Amazon, written for children about grief and loss. Looking back now, it's something she says she finds deeply disturbing.
Yeah.
It makes me sick to my stomach to think about that.
While she says she wants to leave it up to the courts to decide, King says she's completely torn over the news and is trying to wrap her head around something that seems so unbelievable.
Like, she couldn't do that. She wouldn't do that. She had too
Well,
much.
she did.
More than super shocking. I really feel numb.
Bro.
I tried reaching out to the Summit County Sheriff's Office and the Attorney's Office to ask them why it took over a year to lead to an arrest. Both parties told me
That's just how that shit works.
Definitely how it works. It takes a long
while.
time when somebody overdoses.
Yeah, it takes a while to
But boy,
rule out everything.
When the cars fall down, though, it's usually like this. And everybody's like, oh, my gosh, I could have never saw that coming.
Because you
but
know she thought she got away with that shit.
they always think
You
they
know
get
she
away
thought she
with
got
it.
away with that shit.
They're
real
so
slick.
sloppy, though. And they're always worried about phone stuff. And
That's what I'm saying. It's funny how that sheriff said, or detective or whoever that guy was on the video, he was like, when a spouse does something, the trail is always sloppy as fuck.
It's
like
always
you could
sloppy.
always piece it together. Like even if they hire a hitman or something, we've seen that before. The cop will be the hitman and then pull up.
Nah, not in this case. He actually got some real drugs.
Mm-hmm.
He really out of here. It's
know,
very
man.
unfortunate, man.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
feel
lot
bad
of
for the
people that
kids.
what makes it even worse is he actually had a history with drugs. He got clean after being on it in like high school. They said he got his life together.
That's probably how he knew, like, this bitch drugging me.
It's crazy that she already tried it, and he took Benadryl and an EpiPen, and it actually like. So he must be allergic to something. She tried to give him what he was allergic to, or he may have thought he was going through that, but in reality, he was just going through the onset of fentanyl poisoning. That's crazy, bro.
It's pretty freaking dark. We're gonna see where this goes, because I've never seen a case like this before. I never seen a spouse intentionally, like, you know, in the true crime stuff, they used to be Visine. You know, like I've never seen this type of stuff before, so I will be watching.
Why would you
got
say
anything
that?
else to say? What? I'm keeping it a buck.
Nah,
You'll go to jail. Do
not
it.
really,
Fuck around
bruh.
and find
I
out.
mean-
Fuck around and find out.
Yeah, bro. Rest in peace to cuz.
Yeah.
Good luck, bitch. Good luck.
No,